Zealand. Welcome along to my Wednesday Night Live. So excited to share a couple of unique backgrounds with you tonight using online exclusive products. I don't know if you've heard Stampin' Up! Now have online exclusives, so you won't find them in an annual catalogue, you'll only find them online. So this just enables us to keep things fresh and updated and introducing new things all the time, which is really good. But today, as you know, it's 15% off all stamps, which is only stamps in the annual catalogue, just in case you were wondering. So the things I show you tonight, unfortunately, aren't on the 15% sale, but still fantastic. All the stamp sets in the annual catalogue, and there's quite a few of them, are on sale for 15%. Plus, you'll be able to earn bonus points for spending next month. So fantastic. So much to look forward to this month. But anyway, let's flick over to the desktop and I will show you what some unique backgrounds with some online exclusives. Let me flick it over. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining. Okay, so as I was saying, the online exclusives just available online. Whoops, I've got one of my lights. It's gone off. There we go. That's better. Only available online and not in any of the catalogues. So that is the only place that you'll find them. And I'm going to be using two of the products from there tonight. Hi, Wendy. Good to catch you live. I often watch, but oh, that's lovely. Even though you live in Leah, just across the ditch, not far really at all. So I'm going to be doing Trucking Along, which has just become available at the beginning of this month for customers, or if you're a demonstrator last month. But so much fun. This has lots and lots in it. It can be used for Christmas and just lots of things. My grandson's birthday is coming up and he's car crazy, so I will be using this truck to create a super cute birthday card for him. So this comes with a punch, the car, the wheels and bumpers, whatever you want to add to it. And then there's this paper. So essentially it is Christmas. It is called the One Horse Sleigh paper, but it has got lots more in it that's not just Christmas. Of course, it's summer here in New Zealand, so not very applicable in that regard for New Zealand. I mean, it's not summer in New Zealand. I wish it was summer in New Zealand. It's winter, but it actually doesn't snow in Auckland, but I still love the snow. But the images are just beautiful. So there is 4 of each of these patterns. So there's this one, and on the reverse is the trees. This beautiful sunset in the forest, and that beautiful pattern. We're using that one tonight. A little log cabin in the bush. So all the reverse sides have got lovely sort of geometric print patterns. This lovely blue and white stripe one, and this is like a bird's eye view looking down into the forest. Love this wood grain one. I'm going to get a lot of use out of that. And that looks like a frozen lake or something like that. A cute deer in the woods, so beautiful, with a gorgeous plainer green on the back. Another blue and white, and another forest scene. So I just love the patterns on the back as well as the front. Look at this fox. He's super cute as well. Don't get them in New Zealand either. But still love the papers. So absolutely stunning. Love these. So I know I'm gonna get a lot of use out of those. And right, so we are going to start with a pool party base, and then I am going to grab this piece of cardstock. That's the cardstock we're going to be working on. This is the piece from those papers that we're going to be using as well. Okay, so I'm going to grab my block. Now this is a D block, and we are going to use some Stampin' Rights. So Stampin' Rights, you get them in a set of the colour family that is that they're in. So this is part of the subtles and this is part of the brights. I've got Granny Apple Green and Balmy Blue. So I'm going to be using the paintbrush end, and I'm going to be just scribbling some colour on here. And then I'm going to be using Balmy Blue, and I will mix them together in the middle. Okay. So, and then I'm going to grab my spritzer, and it's got just water on it. So I'll just take that away from the table, and I'm just going to lightly spritz it because I don't want it all over my. So that's formed little bubbles on there, if you can see that. And I'm going to pop that onto this. So I'm just going to do it in the middle, sort of near the top. Just going to pop that down. And as you see, when it goes down, it spreads out like that. And then you just lift it up and you get this lovely, lovely pattern. I've got one here that's dry so that we can work on it. So I've also, because you need to let it dry for a little bit, I've also used a water painter. Once it's dry, this works better. I've got a water painter and I've just tapped it like this with water on the end, and it forms droplets, but you need to wait till that ink is dried. And once that's dried, this is how it turns out. You see those droplets there have just spread out and lifted the colour, so you get some lovely sort of splatter look on there. If you don't want that sort of a watercoloured look, if you wanted it darker, then you can use ink pads. So what I did with this one is I just rubbed the ink pad over the block, top and bottom, and then spritzed it and put it on, and you get a denser colour. So if you're wanting a denser colour, you can do it that way. I wanted something a bit lighter, so I did use the Stampin' Rights, but definitely you can use this technique as well. Same thing, just spritzed it and popped it onto the card. Okay, so let's start putting that on here. So such a shame, isn't it? I've got to cover that. Oh, it is really simple. It's so effective. I mean, just play with it like you would when you try anything. Like I say, with ink pads, you get a darker color, but then when you splatter the water on there, that's going to be stand out more. So that's definitely an option. But it is, oh, my glue is a little bit slow. And this is lighter with that watercolor look. So just depending what you want for your project. I love this pattern. Okay, and then I'm going to pop this on as well. And I should have got another glue out. I'm just down to the, obviously down to the bottom. Oops. That's all right. And I'm just going to put, oops, a bit of fluff on there. Just going to pop that in the middle. Blends, you need an alcohol spritzer. Yes, it does work with blends, but you need more of an alcohol spritzer on the block. So the water on the blends wouldn't spritz well. You just put some isopropyl alcohol in the spritzer and spritz it, and that would work as well. Okay, let's set that aside, and we're going to do our truck. So I am going to stamp the truck. Let me grab the bits here. So I've already mounted them all, and that's the wheel. So I'm going to do the outline in Pebbled Path. I like Pebbled Path. It's really that, it's dark, but it's not as dark as Memento Black. Okay. There we go. Probably did it too high on the sheet, which I'll show you why in a minute. It's always quite a good idea to check when you're going to use a punch where you need to have your image. But I can trim that down so that doesn't matter. So I thought I would do a poppy parade. We had a truck, a ute, a red ute. So I thought I will do a red ute. Okay, let's just ink that up. Now I did a little tip. I haven't put it out yet, but with photopolymer stamps, and in this tip I sort of explain this, when they pop them in the molds to create the stamp, I'm just seeing if I line up. It's very hard when you're not looking directly over the top. When they put them in the molds, there's a lining in the mold and that lining helps to get the stamps out very easily. But of course that remains on the stamp when you go to use it, and you need to use an eraser, just an ordinary rubber, and just really give that stamp a really good going over with that to help get rid of that covering, and then you'll get a much better image. Because I don't know if you've been frustrated sometimes with your stamping because it doesn't seem to stamp properly, and that's what the reason would be. Okay, now the wheels. You could always just use your Stampin' Blends or whatever to colour these, but let me see if I can get this lined up properly. I need to really make sure that I'm in the right place, and it's hard to, always find it hard when I'm doing lives because I can't stand up directly over it because I've got the camera, but that's not too bad. Pleased with that. Okay, so I'm going to add some grey for the hub and the mud guards. I'm also going to add, I've got some Cajun craze. We actually live on a dirt road, so our ute was always, and my car actually, everything is covered in dirt. No matter what we do, we clean it and we bring it home, and as soon as we drive it home, of course, it's covered in mud again. So I thought, oh, I'll just make it seem more realistic. Okay, and then I might just add a bit of blue for the window. There we go. So with the punch, when you get your when you're going to stamp the image that you're going to punch out, always really useful to look at how the punch is orientated. So for this, it's going to go in, and as I say, I didn't put it down far enough. It's going to go in that way. So depending on how your paper is situated, you need to make sure that you're going to put it in the way that you need to punch it. So it's always a good idea to check. So I'm just going to cut that down a bit. And, oops, line that up. Now it also has, I don't know if you saw the wheels, you've got wheels, you've got hubcaps. So if you wanted to put silver hubcaps or anything like that, you could do that as well. So you have all these options on this punch. I'm just doing it just plain tonight. Okay, now I have stamped the stamp set. You've got these options, and it's all two-step stamping. You've got trees, you've got fences, you can do a whole scene. You've got presents, buckets of flowers, palm trees. This is really good for New Zealand Christmases or Australian Christmases with the surfboard and the palm tree, etc., going off for Christmas. You've got the Christmas tree. So many options. It's not just Christmas. It's got lots and lots of options. So I have done these flowers, and I'm just going to pop them underneath here like this in the truck. I can get my glue out. There we go. Only need a little bit for that. And then I'll just use some dimensionals. So I hope everyone is well and getting some amazing crafting time in. I always find winter is fantastic for that. You don't feel guilty about being in your craft room when you should be out doing like the gardening or something like that, because the weather's so ghastly. It's a fabulous excuse just to stay inside. Okay. And let's pop that on. Actually, I wanted to do one other stamp. Let me grab that out actually before I pop that on. I'll just take that off there. And just want to do the little shadow under the ground. I quite like my images to have a sort of a grounding. So this stamp here is like the shadow underneath the truck. So I am going to use my pebbled path, but I will stamp off okay. Don't want it black, so if I'm going to pop that there. There we go. You can just see that. And sentiment on. Lucky that is flat already. And I have, last Sunday was horrid and you said all Jay just made cards. Isn't that perfect? Felt bad, but also didn't. Oh, you had to make them. Oh, well, see, that was good. You had a good reason to be creating cards. That's always good when you've got a purpose for them, that's for sure. Okay, so this is the sentiment, which normally, of course, I would have stamped before I adhered, but that's fine. And let's hope it works out. Otherwise, I could stamp on it on a piece of white paper and just put it on top, white cardstock. There we go. And I have got some of these. I really like, they're brushed metallic adhesive dots, and I thought these would be really good for this. Let me see. I think I put these darker ones on. So it's sort of, even though the colours aren't overly masculine, it's still more of a masculine card, I think. Let me see, I might just move that over a little bit if I can get the bottom off it. There we go. My favourite tool. Be lost without this. And do one up there. And there we have that background. Now, I'm not going to stamp the other one because it's quite straightforward, but I'm just going to show you the alternative background that I did, because I said I had two. So all I did with this one is I used the outline of the truck, just stamped it, moving it along a little bit each time. Then I stamped and just stamped each one in a different color, exactly as I did with the red one, and then placed it on one of the outlines that I had there. So it just creates this really unique sort of masculine background to your card. I really, really like how that turned out, and really getting good use out of that stamp. So just another option with this spritzing background. Went on a retreat recently, and dear friend Leslie Scott, one of my friends and team members, not my team, but under Jackie team. She did this and she used different Stampin' Rights, different colours, dark to light, up to the yellow. So there's about 5 or 6 different colours, I think, and spritzed it and then stamped it down with this long. So that just shows you another beautiful option. I've just used 2 colours, but you can use as many colours as you like to create the same sort of special background. So I hope you enjoyed that. I really do hope you give this technique a go, and this stamping in the background with the outline of the car technique. This is a simple but very effective background for this card, I thought, with the truck. And I just love this cute little truck. He is going to get a lot of use, I think. So thank you so much for joining me. Please, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment and share. And I really look forward to seeing you. You have your grandson and saw this and thought, but no, you've done. Oh, thank you. You're going to put in, put it in. It's not 15% off this one though. It's online exclusives, which isn't got the sale, unfortunately. But still really love this. I still think it's fantastic. So take care, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.